Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday, everybody. It is Delilah Bardlette, your leadership auntie. And it is Friday in August. And as most of you are aware, because we're just going to jump on into it, as most of you are aware, every Friday this August, I am coming to share insights that people aren't just talking about every day. And things that we sometimes don't feel like we have the psychological safety to talk about in our businesses or organizations or companies. We're getting into the nitty gritty, right? And so this particular leadership series, I'm excited about September as well. I have to remain focused on August. But this August, this leadership series, we're talking about how to succeed in rooms that were not traditionally built for you. I mean, it's no secret and it's no super shade to anybody. It's just that some of the built rooms that you're going into, they have traditional thinking, precepts, concepts, structure that weren't necessarily always built for you in mind. And whoever you are, right? And so this is not for one particular class of person or type of person. Some of us, most of us can often feel like, oh, I don't belong. And so this is how do we create this sense of belonging and success in rooms that feel like they weren't built for us. And so I'm Delilah Bardlette. I spent almost 30 years in a phenomenal organization, building and doing phenomenal things, a lot of success. And now I own and operate my own leadership firm. So I think executive career transition to impactful entrepreneur. And so that's who I am. And so this week we're getting into, because I don't want to just continue to use up words. This month, how to succeed in rooms not built for you. Last week was phenomenal. Go back and take a listen. Every week, we're spending about 10 minutes together where I'm dropping nuggets to help you succeed in rooms that weren't shaped for you. And I'm doing it a couple ways. One, through the lens of the career executive, and I'm currently in like a hotel out in anyway, you don't need to know all that. And also through the lens of entrepreneur. And so I'll give you a nugget on from each lens to help you out. And so last week was good. This week is going to be good as well. What do you need in order to succeed in rooms not necessarily built for you? Well, this week we're talking about the things that get in the way of creating capacity for you. Primarily, building a team, or not even building a team. Let me say expanding your expanding your access by way of leveraging other resources. There are two primary mindsets that can threaten and collapse your ability to show up as successful in this space, as far as expanding access, to show up as successful as possible. In my book, because from a career perspective, we are leveraging this phenomenal digestible nugget of a book. It's from $6 to Six Figures. It's me. It's Delilah. It's available on Amazon. And so I'm using this book for part of this conversation during the series. The mindsets that can come up against you, I've lived them. And so I'm talking through lived experience. One of them is, I call it the I got it syndrome. And so as a Gen Xer, and I'm sure this is true for other generations, there's a lot of things we did on our own. Our parents were out, making things happening, building amazing lives. And so we were just nurtured and built to say, I got it. But when you show up in an organization, or even if you're running a business, and this thought of you having it and you're not leaning on the experts who are around you who will help make your stronger, you can, one, deliver a subpar product or project. You can stifle the growth of people around you. It's just overall unhealthy, and it does not help formulate your success. Give me, I got it. I mean, because I think there's a sense of pride that come up with people with believing they got it, right? With announcing, I got it. You can give it to me. I got it. It also introduces the second mindset that can come up in a space like that, and that is this: look at me. And for those of you who aren't aware this may be your first week joining, feel free to drop stuff in the comments. I'll respond. This is definitely me being available to you as an individual, not just what I want to share, but I also want to answer questions that you may have. I've invited people to put them in the chats, in the comments, and I've invited people to send an email at info@delilahbardlette.com should they not feel comfortable with asking their question. Delilah, my boss is looking, so I don't want to ask the question here, but I will slip it in your DM if you go give me the raw on what the answer is. And so 2 ways to ask me your specific question. Going back to the material I've prepared to share today, that second mindset of look at me, right? We can come up with this so unhealthy performance need, like I have to perform in order to be valuable. I have to perform in order to be seen. Now, you do need to deliver results, but you get what I'm saying. There's a difference between delivering results and a need to be seen. And this type of mindset can really also produce this unhealthy ecosystem. And if it produces an unhealthy ecosystem, it can put a limit on your ability to succeed. And so we want to be careful. In the book, I call it building your squad. This is part of building your squad. And your squad is not necessarily your team. It doesn't have to, your squad is not necessarily people who you mentor. Your squad are just are people who, these can be peers, it can be team members, it can be also people you're reporting to. But it's just this, it's more of a mentality. It's a mentality as well as a practice. When I say building your squad, looking outside of yourself really is the key takeaway. Looking outside of yourself, knowing that your mindset is healthy and you're not just showing up to be seen and to perform, but you're showing up to contribute and impact, right? That's a different kind of lens. And if you're not sure on that, I'm open to talking to you about that. I had to learn that myself. And so in order to succeed in these rooms that aren't built for you, you're not going to be able to do it by yourself. You're going to need people who are as smart as you, but maybe in different areas. You're going to need advocates and sponsors, right? We hear those names and titles quite a bit. But you'll need that in order to be successful. I needed that. I'm sharing this because this is lived experience. I needed that in order to go from $6 an hour to making multiple 6 figures. I needed to get out of my own way in order for other folks to help me. On the entrepreneurial side, the thing that I've learned, so that's the nugget from the career. Here's the nugget from the entrepreneurial side, because this is just the way I want to do it, and I think it's valuable. On the entrepreneurial side, the tip that I have for you this week is put a demand on your ROI. Right? To put a demand on your return on investments. I say that because if you come out here to build a business or doing new things, and maybe if it's even in your career, you will need to invest in things like training, maybe some coaching, other resources. If you're building a business, it may be technology platforms. It may be all kind of things that you need to invest in. But I want to caution you to look for a return on those investments before and as you continue to consider to invest in other things. If you're a person like me and you come out and you're a person of means because you built those means, let's be clear, nobody's handed me anything, nobody's done me any favors. If you're a person with means and you can invest, you're probably going to be like, okay, I want to accelerate what I'm doing, and so let me invest in all the things. But before you continue to do that, here's something that I've learned in the last year. Make sure you're putting under a demand on what you've already invested. Put a hiatus on yourself of I'm not investing anything else until I need a return on those other investments in order to make further investments. This is just wise business. But sometimes I think, or at least for me, it can get a little cloudy and you could just be writing checks because you're building something that you're very excited about and you want to see it done. And so from the entrepreneurial side, that's what I would say. I would say, make sure you get a return on your investments before you're continuing to invest, right? And so this is your leadership auntie, right? I'm available. I wish I had somebody who was unbiased, who didn't have a personal agenda and stake in the game when it came to giving me advice and sharing tidbits and insights with me. And that's what I'm endeavoring to be for you. And so if this is, because this is helpful, not if it's helpful, I know it's helpful. And because this is helpful, I encourage you to be a catalyst and a multiplier and share this with your network, share it with your team. If you have adult children, share it with your or even teenage children. They need to know. There's no need for us to wait for them to get into these roles to have this type of awareness and insight. But just share it, and know that I'm available for questions, comments, or whatever the case may be. info@delilahbardlette.com, a great place to send questions. I look forward to working with you guys. If you have organizations, nonprofits, businesses that you believe can really use something transformational when you think about workforce development, leadership development, or even operational efficiency, keep Delilah Bardlette Leadership Services, Delilah Bardlette Leadership Solutions in mind. If you have secret stuff you want to ask me about business and what really happens behind the scenes and what you should prepare for, hit me up in the email. I will not be like, and John asked this question, so I will answer. I will simply come answer the question. Okay? This is a safe place for us to grow and just become even greater together. Until next time, it's your leadership auntie, Delilah Bardlette. I've been checking the comments. I don't see any questions there. So I'm going to go off and do my lovely business that I have scheduled to do today. And I wish you an amazing, amazing weekend. Until next week at noon, Central Standard Time. I'll talk to you later. God bless.